What's going on, everybody? Today I'm having a Tony Soprano summer lunch, and for me that means anything I do like Tony Soprano would do, sitting out having a cigar, eating some gabagool by poolside, you know, anything I feel like Tony Soprano will be down with. I call that Tony Soprano summer. And today I'm smoking an Oliva Nub Black Swan. Look at this beautiful cigar, Nicaraguan Maduro. If you haven't had the Oliva Black Swan series, they're absolutely fantastic. Highly recommended. I'm gonna apologize if the wind's making sounds and stuff like that. This is my first video I'm doing like in long form. So yeah, usually I make the shorts, but today we're gonna document a beautiful day. And I'm sitting out here at lunch. We got cars going by, and I'm out here talking to a camera. People probably think I'm crazy. No more crazy than normal, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna have this beautiful Oliva Black Swan Maduro, and it's the Oliva Nub. It's a 4x60, and I like the Nub series anyway. Believe it or not, the cigars last longer than you would think. Unfortunately, my exes can't say the same about me and my Nub. Usually it's pretty quick. So we got a little cut there. I always use a V-cut, and I use a dual lighter, dual cutter and lighter. It's easier, just carry one thing with you. And let's see if I can light this in this wind here. All right, I think we can get it. Toasting the foot a little bit. I think we got it. The flame was kicking back up in my face a little bit. Let me just edge this out a little bit here. Oh, that's good. That really is good. And listen, on one thing you're gonna get from me when it comes to cigar reviews and talking about cigars, I'm not gonna talk about the nutty cocoa, fruit, nuts, twigs, berries, pine cone taste that other people talk about. I don't taste flavor notes. To me, cigars just taste good. I could do a little, I could tell if it's peppery, you know, if it's bitter or things like that, but I really can't tell like these dark, rich flavor notes. This is it. This is perfect. Beautiful day. I mean, let's look at this is my view right here. Beautiful day here on Long Island. It's got to be close to 70 degrees. And we're just sitting out here. I'm just sitting out here in my chair and enjoying the day. I kind of wanted to make a longer form video because I'll be doing my first solo camping trip as an adult, and I want to document that. So I want to get used to talking to the camera, and be more natural in front of it. You'd think by now, 15 years of comedy, 20 years of radio, 10 plus years doing podcasts, that I would be comfortable, but you know, I'm the most uncomfortable person in front of anything that there is. So that's not the self-deprecating part of the video, but no, I'm just sitting here. It's a beautiful day enjoying the cigar. And with the camping trip, I'm really looking forward to. I'm gonna bring some excellent cigars with me, some great food. You know, this is what happens. I blame TikTok and the YouTube channel, Outdoor Boys. And I'm gonna blame Jack too from Tiny Cabin Life. He was on my podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I told him the same thing. I found Outdoor Boys through TikTok, and I started watching on YouTube, and his channel popped up in the algorithm, and I was hooked. You know, Tiny Cabin Life is more my speed as far as like, I'm not gonna be like bushcrafting a shelter and like, you know, that kind of thing. But when I do go camping, I'm gonna get a cabin tent, which is comfortable. I could stand up in it. I could put an air mattress up in there and just be comfortable. Normally I like to pair a cigar with a coffee or a Diet Coke. But today I just got water. I was trying to get my water in. I had my coffee this morning. Over the years, I've really cut down the amount of coffee I drink. I used to drink probably like three to four 20 ounces a day. And now it's like down to 2, maybe 1 or 2, which is a lot. You know, it's a lot of caffeine. It's a lot of, you know, I got the Aj. I got the gallbladder. But this cigar is great. I mean, the Oliva series in general, anything by Oliva is fantastic. And they came out with the Black Swan. My buddy Kevin had introduced me to this cigar a couple of years ago. I introduced it to my dad. He loves it. He buys them like crazy. That's where I actually got this from. My pop gave it to me. But I think that's the great thing about being into cigars and the cigar community. Well, I was saying, like, I think that's the great thing about being into cigars and being in the cigar community, is that if you like a cigar and you think a friend of yours will like it, you give him that cigar, and they do the same back to you, and it's kind of like, you know, a give and take. You know, if I find a cigar that I think a friend of mine's really gonna like, I can't wait to give them that cigar to have them try it. And if they like it and they add it to their, you know, their go-tos, it makes me happy. That's the great thing about cigars too. You can either just sit up by yourself. Many times I've thrown my headphones in, listen to music, watch YouTube videos, or I've just, you know, just zoned out. And there's times when you're at like a cigar lounge or hanging with friends where that conversation and cigars are going, and it's just a good time. People always ask me why I don't pair my cigars with alcohol a lot. I'm not a big drinker. Like I said, usually it's coffee. I enjoy an occasional beer now and then, but I'm really not much of a drink guy. Cigar is absolutely excellent. Burning a little uneven over here. I think that's because of the wind, but my dad taught me this trick. I don't know if you want to try it at home, but if one part of the cigar is edging like this, he just takes his finger and lightly presses on it. Now it's going to be hot, so you don't want to do it too long. And what that does is the embers in the ash now light that part of the cigar. Ow. So it does get hot, but it fixes and evens the burn. It's not exact science, but it works. My dad taught me that. And he really taught me everything I first learned about cigars. I got into cigars when I was 17. First cigar I had probably was like 15, 16. But I didn't start really smoking them until I was a senior in high school. And then after that, I've always gone back and forth with them, and then really just got back into them again probably around 2018. Where I work, the project manager used to get handed these Cubans all the time. So he would give them to me. I would go home and enjoy the cigar, and it always left me wanting more. So finally I was like, you know what, I enjoy this. Why not just buy my own cigars? I have a humidor. And that was it. Then I discovered the Cigar Lounge Matadors is where I hang out at. I become like Norm from Cheers, and the rest is history. Well, you can see this is a nub. This is a 4x60, and I've been probably smoking this now for almost a half an hour, and we're just about not even halfway through. So, you know, it is a Gordo in the, you know, in the ring size and everything. And nubs, like I said before, do last longer than other shorter sticks, the short stories and stuff like that. So it lasts you about an hour. Sitting here in my chair. I love this chair. I bought this chair last year. My other one broke. It's a big and tall chair. The person actually on the chair is in a muumuu. So it just shows you that it is for bigger people. My nephews and my niece are always like, why is your chair so big? Like, because I'm big. Why is it so big? I'm getting down to the band here, so I'm going to take that off. I'll show you the band here. Now, other makers have a Black Swan. Rocky Patel has a Black Swan. I had that one. It's a good cigar, but it's not, to me, it's not as nowhere near as good as the Oliva one. And here's the thing, as I do these videos, the cigar videos, that I talk more about them, I'm gonna pronounce a lot of things wrong. I'm not good with cigar names. They're hard, complicated to say. And I don't pretend I know how to say it. I just say it like the old dumb white guy that I am. I said, I work near an airport. For Memorial Day here on Long Island, we have the Jones Beach Air Show, and all the planes take off from the airport over here, right down the road. So when that's happening, you can see, come out here and you can see them doing their test runs. It's awesome. There's a huge carpenter bee over here, and I'm like trapped in with the, and I'm freaking out. Oh shit, here it comes. Get away! Go! As I was saying, there's a drawback to sitting outside and having a cigar, the insects. And I don't know how I'm gonna do camping, but we'll figure it out. We're gonna go for it. I really do think it's important that if you want to do something and it's like on your mind, just to do it. And you never know what could happen from it. Might just be a bucket list thing where you're like one and done, or it could be something that you're really passionate about and become part of your life, like comedy is for me, or was. I don't really do it as much as I used to, but it'll always be a part of me. I'll always be a comedian. 15 years. And I did it at first just as a bucket list thing. I always wanted to try it, and I was hooked the second I grabbed that microphone. And I'll see if camping's like that, you know. Like I said, the videos got me, and watching all these YouTubers do it, I've learned a lot, and I want to see if I can put that to use. And if not, it'll make for a good story. Either way, it'll make for a good story. Smoke output on these is fantastic. I like that in a cigar. I like a nice smoke output. Like nice thick smoke, flavorful. Again, I can't tell you what those flavor notes are, just that it tastes really good. So as you can see, the cigar is getting close, you know, to my fingers. What do? I don't want to burn my fingers, but I don't want to give up on the cigar at that point. So I got myself a little tool over here. I have myself one of these. I have a multi-purpose cigar tool. It's got a punch. It's got the drawer opener, I guess that's what you call it when the drawer is tight. And this is just 2 prongs. Goes into the back of your cigar like this. And it's kind of like a roach clip from back in the day. You know? So you can smoke your cigar down to where you want it. I like to smoke mine all the way down. I think that's where all the flavor ends up. And as a cigar goes, it just tastes better and better. So I got myself this tool. It's a Kenson I got it on Amazon. I'll link it in the description. That's a YouTube. Look at me using YouTube lingo. That's a YouTube lingo. Perfect. You don't burn your fingers, and you get to enjoy the rest of your cigar. And I use this on all different every cigar I smoke, I usually use this down to the end. I'll show you the rest of the tool. So this is the rest of it. You use this if the drawer is tight on the cigar, you stick it into the end, and it's got a punch on it. I use a punch instead of a V-cut on like bigger cigars, bigger gauge cigars. If I don't want to ruin the cap, or like on a barber pole where you got two wrappers in one, I'll use the punch here. Yeah, great little tool. Fits in my carrying case. I carry one of these around with me at all time. I have my other lighters and my cutter in here. I always got cigars with me. I get this on Amazon too. Link in the description. Throwing those YouTube lingo, throw those YouTuber lingos at you like I've been doing it forever. I think that was like 50 bucks. Might be more now with inflation and tariffs, but we're not gonna go down that road. People do get on me about smoking cigars and the effect that it can have on your health. Now, I'm not naive. I understand this is a tobacco product. There are consequences with that. There are things that can happen. I understand that. But no one talks about the positive effects cigars have. They are phenomenal for your mental health. For me, it does. It lowers my stress levels. It helps me like regain my focus, just calm down after a stressful day, relax. But listen, I know there's health risks with it. There's also health risks with drinking. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I try not to eat cake. I'm very unsuccessful with that one, but I do try to watch what I eat sometimes. I gotta get back on track with that. But I'm just saying in general, I don't imbibe alcohol a lot. I'm not a big drinker. I've never done any hard drugs. I've never, like, you know, even when I was in my teens and my 20s, I never tried cocaine. I never tried ecstasy, Molly, mushrooms. The only thing I did was smoke a little weed, marijuana. It's legal now. I do it once in a while, very rarely. Yeah, so I mean, listen, we all have vices. No one lives 100% clean. I had a lot of people come at me, especially in the heyday of the WW Bro. You know, when I was dropping all that weight and I was doing good, and I started putting cigars on my page. People came at me hardcore, telling me about like all the health risks and that. And then you go to their page and they're drinking the liquor store. And you're like, come on, man. I don't come at you for what you do. Be respectful for the same thing. This is something I enjoy. Passionate about it. It really does help with my mental health. No, not even joking. That's not a lie. I am somebody who deals with anxiety and depression, and this helps. It calms me down. It gets me into a good place. And that's one of the things also why I want to try camping, because when I watch these camping videos, it lessens my anxiety. If I'm having a stressful day, I'll throw a camping video on, light a cigar, and I'm in a whole new place. As you can see, we're pretty close to the end of that cigar, down to the nub. The flavors are just really strong. As you get down here, it's just good. The flavor is so much more intense, so much stronger, which I love. If you're new to cigars or you're just getting into cigars, I don't recommend starting with a Maduro. Get a nice Connecticut, ease your way in. Some great Connecticut's out there. And of course, Dunbarton and Trust, Somber Mesa Brule, awesome Connecticut. The Drew Estate Undercrown Shade, it's a great Connecticut. The Blackened Shade to Black, that is a great Connecticut as well. Those are the ones that I smoke. Rocky Patella, some good Connecticut's. My Father Connecticut. Camacho Connecticut. These are ones that I would start with. And just see where your palate is. And if you are going to try a Maduro and it's your first time having Maduro, make sure it's not on an empty stomach. Get some food in your belly, because it could get you sick. It could get you nauseous. You could even throw up. But this is the only place I'm hardcore, is where I can smoke a Maduro on an empty stomach. I can get up in the morning, smoke a Maduro, I'm fine. But it's also years of getting used to it. Well, we're down to just about the end, and I got a few minutes left on my break, so I'm going to wrap things up here. Thank you so much for joining me on this Tony Soprano summer lunch. Don't forget to click subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. Have a good day.